Welcome to the Two Robbies Daily, where we're going to take a look at all round of 32 games.
Brazil versus Japan. I think it's a blue chip game of the knockout round starting. The Blue Samurai, mate, are, I think, slight favourites in this one.
Well, they're plus 250 to advance, and I like that because Brazil, we know, have got better. We know they got Vinny Jr. and a few of the star players, but Japan are ready for those guys. Japan are the antidote to, I think, this expansive and improving Brazil team. We saw Japan right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Super organised. You know, their coach said that they're in this tournament to win it.
Yeah.
They're confident. They defend mostly out of a 4-5-1. They counter-attack very quickly. I just think against Brazil, it's going to surprise them and surprise everybody. I think an upset is on the cards.
There's a speed and athleticism to Japan that I think will trouble Brazil.
Yeah.
And they won't be giving cheap goals away like Scotland were either.
Germany versus Paraguay, next up, Robbie Earl.
Yeah.
Germany, I think, improving. I think when you consider the Germans, I always look at Florian Wirtz in midfield, a player that's still yet to fulfill his potential for me. Kai Havertz, of course, the striker, I think, is preferred right now. And just in terms of odds and bets, Kai Havertz to score and Florian Wirtz to get an assist is plus 211 anytime in the game. Now, against Paraguay, they're heavy favourites. This is, I think, one of the most tilted games in this round. No issues for Germany.
I wouldn't be surprised if Wirtz assists Havertz and they get the goal and that goes on to win the game. I think you're right with Germany. I think they're the team in the competition that seems to be inching towards their best form, and I can only see a German winning this one, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Leroy Sané, I still feel has got more to come from him, but they got enough to win this game for sure. Ivory Coast versus Norway. A fascinating matchup, contrasting styles, star players. You know, Norway, many people's dark horse for this tournament. We both enjoyed Ivory Coast. You picked them out really early. With the attacking players there, we've got Diomande, Amad Diallo. You know, they got some attacking threats that can hurt Norway. Absolutely,
and I think when we look at Norway, we can't look beyond Erling Haaland, the goal threat, the power ball at the top end of the pitch, and can Martin Odegaard get himself to the highest level where he can be producing goals? But no, I went early with Ivory Coast, and I'm going to stick with Ivory Coast.
We both think they're going to advance Ivory Coast?
I think so, Rob. I just feel that they'll have a little bit too much in the attacking line.
In a tight game, I think they go through.
France versus Sweden. Many people's favourite France to go on and win the competition, Rob. Are they playing so well that they've just got to keep that momentum going?
Yeah, they have. I mean, they're going to outscore so many teams in this tournament. I mean, I think midfield-wise, they're strong as well. They do tick all the boxes. Complacency, possibly. They switched off in the last game, conceded a goal. But I think in terms of the bets, you've got to be thinking of the goal scorers, the star players. Over 1.5 goals for France. Dembele to score, Mbappe to score is plus 182. Doesn't seem like huge odds.
No.
But if those two things happen with those two players,
they score,
then they're going to get over the 1.5 goals. So strongly fancy France to make it a strong win.
Yeah, and based off what we've seen in games leading up to it, you know, Mbappe's already firing, you know, Dembele coming in with a hat-trick last time out, Elise, the supply line, Rob. And I tell you the thing for me with France, it looks a more together group of players, and this is down to Didier Deschamps, than we've seen in some while.
Yeah, they're a scary outfit. So here's an interesting one. Mexico versus Ecuador. Mexico have been pretty perfect in the group stage, Rob, but I've got quite a strong feeling for Ecuador. After watching them against Germany, come from behind in a must-win game in the group stage to advance. They did it. We know they've got a brilliant defence. PSG's Pacho they have back there. Incapia from Arsenal. Moises Caicedo, the defensive holding midfield player. On the other side of things, Angula's just scored for the national team in this tournament. So I know how Mexico play. I think I know how Ecuador are going to approach it. And in that being said, Ecuador to win, under 2.5 goals for Ecuador is plus 159. That's basically the odds on what I'm saying, a narrow victory for Ecuador.
I'm going the other way. I think as host nations, they've had a great start to the competition. 3 wins in the 3 group games. Confidence is high. I know that altitude might not be such a problem playing an Ecuadorian team, but I still feel as though that home, the fan base and that altitude is something that we're going to look for. And I'm going to go the other way, the host nation, Mexico, who've made it 3 wins in the first 3 group games with the confidence, with the fan base. I know the altitude probably isn't going to upset Ecuador too much, maybe more used to those kind of conditions. But when I think a Mexican win and Raul Jimenez to score is plus 214, I think that's good bit of business. I think Mexico go through. So England face DR Congo, an English team that has not been perfect so far, but finished top of the group,
Yep.
Rob. Going into this one, should there be a little bit of confidence?
There should be confidence. There shouldn't be any kind of sense of this is an easy game. I think Thomas Tuchel will be good at that, making sure the players are ready for this. I think they can expect a defensive DR Congo side, but I think they do get the job done. And I'm gonna give something a little different here. I'm gonna go with a bet here for England to advance.
Yeah.
And Nico O'Reilly, by the way,
It's an interesting
the
one.
fullback that absolutely gets forward. I think he's about 6'4". He gets into the penalty box. He could be the difference maker in this game, and you're going to get value here. Plus 4-3-6 is for that to come through, and that's what I'd go with.
The only thing I would say is England were a little bit loose at times against the Panama team who weren't good enough to hurt them. With someone like Johan Wieser up front, DR Congo could be more of a test. But I think I'm with you. I think England find a way to get this done.
Interesting game. Belgium versus Senegal. Belgium, Robbie Earl. Aging squad or still capable of producing something? Because this is a very difficult game. For
Yeah, I kind of feel I'm going down the golden generation that's turning a bit rusty. It's the last hurrah for Kevin De Bruyne and Romelu Lukaku, two greats for Belgium football. Just not quite sure they're going to have enough against the
They've got Yuri
Senegalese.
Tillemans, they got Amadou Onana, they got some others that can. Jeremy Doku, of course, is their star player now, given
Absolutely. But it just doesn't quite feel like the right mix at the right time. And with the Senegalese forward line, I think there's a real threat, Rob, for Senegal.
Well, let's double down on that. The front line of Senegal is pretty interesting. Sadio Mane, the former Liverpool player, of course. Nico Jackson, player that always loves to run in behind. Iliman Ndiaye off the bench, Ismail Assar. So how about this one? Senegal to advance, Nico Jackson to score is plus 396. That's good value and absolutely something that could happen. Spain versus Austria on paper and with recent history would seem an easy Spain victory, Rob, though.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be easy. I don't think we've seen anywhere near their best from Spain right now. Lamine Yamal, I would hope, will be finding his feet, get a little bit more sharpness about him. Is it easy to say Spain go through easily?
Not easy, but I think they would be the stereotypical nation who you say are going to improve as they go along. Now we're knockout football. Now it's another step. It's mentally a different approach. I expect more control of the game. As you say, I expect more threat from the wide areas. Nico Williams and Yamal and Oyarzabal at the top end of the pitch now. It's now the big questions are going to be asked. Can he get the goals to see them through? Switzerland versus Algeria is an interesting game, Rob. Algeria haven't really shown up at this tournament. Can they find a way past the Swiss?
I don't think so. I mean, Switzerland, when I watch those, steady, reliable, consistent, not going to make too many errors.
Yeah.
And this might be a bit of a grinder when you consider these two teams and how they've done so far. Nothing spectacular. I would just favour the European team in this matchup to go through.
Yeah, and for Switzerland to advance and Breel Embolo to be the first scorer, that's plus 365, Rob.
Yeah.
That's a decent bit of business, isn't
It's
it?
not bad value, yeah.
Big high-profile game, Portugal versus Croatia. I mean, the story might be about Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal and Luka Modric for Croatia, Rob, but there's a bit more to it than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Portugal still haven't shown us their best yet. I still think there's more to come. I think when you look at matchups, Vitinha in the middle of the park for Portugal, PSG's absolute metronome in terms of setting the play up against Luka Modric is fascinating.
Yeah.
You've got a young kid or certainly a younger kid that's I guess it's experienced now, but against Luka Modric. And, you know, I look back when I played and I'd rather be playing against Modric than Vitinha. The younger upstart. I remember we played against Paul Ince when he first started out, went on to play for England and Man United and Liverpool. Wow, was he a player? I was like, wow, who's this kid Paul Ince? Dribbled past me a few times, run by me, tackled me hard. I think the young one coming through is more fearsome than the aging one for me.
I'd have to agree because I think while you've got all the technical ability and the experience, Rob, if somebody blasts past you with power and with speed, and I remember the player who made me feel old very quickly was playing against Steven Gerrard. He came on as a sub against Liverpool and he went box to box, mate, and that was my thing, like, come on, box to box, Robbie Earl can go. He left me for dead. And I remember thinking, wow, powerhouse, but can do the job I can do. And so in that respect, I probably think Vitinha might get the better of things.
And that would mean that Portugal would win. So I think Portugal will go through and maybe the end of an era of some of these brilliant Croatian players.
So Australia versus Egypt, all eyes on the Egyptian king Mo Salah, who looks to be carrying a little bit of an injury, not 100% sure if he'll start this game, Rob. Egypt haven't quite come to the boil so far in the tournament.
Well, you might say that the team isn't that great around a great player in Mo Salah. Is that a reason why he's not really burst out yet? This is a chance to do it. And for those who are a bit more sceptical of where he is in his career right now, which would be me, like, is his talents just kind of dwindling a little bit and that sharpness isn't quite there that used to set him apart, which I think that is the case. He could totally prove me wrong against Australia. Australia, Rob, very defensively strong, some experience back there. Harry Souttar, big centre-half, will be playing for them. But do you believe that Mo Salah will come alive in this round?
I kind of do, because I think his experience, his know-how, his understanding of what his nation requires. And so for Mo Salah to score, Rob, and for Egypt to go through is plus 247. You know, there's a bit of value in that for the Egyptian fans.
Yeah, I think the fans will jump on that because that's likely. I think they'll go for it. I mean, Australia will grind and they'll defend, and they have to be respected. But if you're right, and if Mo Salah's still got plenty to give, that bet's going to go well.
And they're not just about defending Australia, they have got a bit of craft. Christian Volpato was a former Roma player who's come on the pitch, left-footed, very silky, and can make things happen. So there is still a threat from this Australian team.
Argentina versus, in some ways, the story of the tournament. Cape Verde, this expanded tournament, has given the likes of Cape Verde and others a chance to get through and play the big boys. The world champions, they're big boys, Rob. What sort of chance have Cape Verde got against Argentina?
Bring it on to my Cape Verde, bring it on. You know, I was all in from early on. A 0-0 draw with Spain, a 1-0 win against Argentina is going to shock the world, my friend.
Well, let's think about the odds for that. Argentina to get over 2.5 goals, possible. And Lionel Messi to be the first goal scorer is plus 336. There's your bet.
Save your money. It's not going to happen. Tough one to call, Musty. Colombia versus Ghana. We've seen a Ghana team that we know can set up well and be difficult to break it down. We've seen a Colombian team that is warming up into the competition and has got some attacking threats.
Yeah.
How do you feel on this one?
I think it's going to be an interesting game. Another one that I can't wait to see it. You know, contrasting styles again. I can't, with Ghana, that England game, the physicality, Rob, we watched it together. Like, they were so ferocious in their defending. So not many goals, very, very tight. How about this for one? Went through the possibilities and options. How about this? Colombia to advance on penalties under 2.5 goals, which is a low scoring tie, is plus 1846, 1,846. That's some returns, and I think that's pretty possible.
Here's $1 from me, my friend.
Let's do it.